Good evening, Daf. Pe Amud Aleph, 34 lines down. Kishem Shamru and Megadin Behemedakah, the same way the Hachamim said you cannot raise small animals. In Eretz Israel, Kach Amru and Megadin Hayadakah, you also can't raise wild small animals, like deer and foxes. Rabbi Shmuel says, Megadin Klavim, some people say it was Rashba. You can raise puppies, cats, monkeys, and weasels in Eretz Israel because some of those animals are just not harmful, and some of those animals actually help clean the house. What are these type of weasels? It's like a creeping animal that digs. Referring to like a stinging animal. His legs are thin and it walks between bushes. What's a creeping animal? Its legs are tiny and you can't see it walking. It looks like it's creeping. Some say it's actually a porcupine. Mari the Marav. We made ourselves Bavel like Eretz Israel because Bavel was sold to Minachamim. They said we don't raise small animals by us like Eretz Israel. The Memedaka regarding to small animals. Marle Adla Baraval Huna, Didach, my how come you have a small animal? Amarle, he said, not a problem. Didan commented Hova, my wife Hova guards it. Amarle, he says back to him, Hova tikberena libna. Hova will bury her sons. So seemingly he sounded like he cursed her, but another opinion explains that he was speaking like out loud, like, oh, if she doesn't watch it correctly, then she's gonna bury her sons. Like you're playing with fire. Unfortunately, Tzaddik says something that happens. Kulash Nadarav Ada Baravad, as long as Rav Ada was alive. Lo Akiyam Zer Ada Rav Huna Mechova. Rav Huna's children did not live through Chova, his wife. Ikdamri, other rabbis say, we make ourselves in Bavel like Eretz Israel. Regarding small animals. Mechiata Rav Bavel after Rav came to Bavel. Okay, Rabbi Shmuel Rav Asi Iklal Be Shavua Ben. Rabbi Shmuel Asi one time came by the house of a Brit Milah. Amrilah Shlebe Yeshua Ben. Some people say with a Pajana Ben. Rav Lo Ayal committed Shmuel. Rav didn't go in front of Shmuel out of respect. Shmuel Ayal committed Rav, and Shmuel did not go in front of Rav because of committed Asi, and Shmuel did not go in front of Asi out of respect. Rav Asi Lo Ayal committed Rav, and Rav Asi didn't want to go in front of Rav because he was his Talmid. Amriman Nitrach, who shall go in a pair and who shall follow afterward? Counting two, then one. Nitrach Shmuel v'Nitrach Rav Asi. Shmuel shall go out, stay outside, and Rav Asi and Rav will go inside. V'Nitrach Rav or Rav Asi. How come other ones didn't? One of them go out and the other ones to go in. Rav Milta ba'alma hu da'abad Shmuel. Rav always wanted to respect Shmuel mishum da'huma ased lateh because he accidentally cursed Shmuel. And Gemara Shabbat, Rav was sick, and Shmuel, like a doctor, gave him treatment, and it caused Rav to be upset. And he said, "Whoever gave me that treatment should be cursed." And he actually did not have any sons. So out of respect, he felt bad as he always treated Shmuel with respect. While they're waiting outside, a cat came and bit off the hand of a kid. Rav went and said, hold on a second. You could kill a cat. You're not allowed to keep a cat. There's no isur for stealing the cat. You have no chiyuv to return it to the owner if it gets lost. They came in that matter. Go 1 second. If you said you're allowed to kill it, how come you have another chiyuv isur of you can't? Why didn't you tell me you can't keep a cat? If you have to kill it, obviously you can't keep it as a pet. What does it mean? Maybe you might think you have to kill it isur aleka, but you don't. There's no isur in owning one. Kamashlan, they say is also to own a cat. Amri, they came in that matter. 1 second. If you said there's no isur of stealing one, why need another halacha? There's no chiyuv of returning it if it's lost to the owner. Even for the hide or the skin, you don't have to return to the owner. Metzvah is a question. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer, Megadim klavim kufrin v'chatulim v'kufrin v'chatulim. We learn from our Braita. You can raise puppies, cats, monkeys, and weasels in Eretz Yisrael because it cleans the house. So we see that you don't have to. Not only you don't have to keep cats, you can even keep them. When it says black cats are harmless. White cats you should kill because they're dangerous. But Rav's cat was black, and therefore we see that black cats do attack. Hatam was a black cat that was actually from a white cat. The father was a white cat. That's why it was dangerous. But then Ravina asked the question. Ravina asked, what the halacha? A black cat is the son of a white cat. What the halacha? So we see that it wasn't so pashut that the black cat, son of a white cat, automatically damages. Gemara says, Kimi Kama Ravina, when Ravina was asking the question, Ba'uchma bar Chavira Ba'uchma. It's referring to when it was a black cat, son of a white cat, grandchild of a black cat. Right? Maybe the white parent is the only exception. But the case of Rav was a black cat, even though usually black cats are harmless, but the parent and grandparent were both white. That's why it was dangerous. Okay. This is quite a few lines of names. Amar Rabbi Acha bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Abba bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Ada bar Papa. Amar Rabbi Abba Ba'amrida Amar Rabbi Abba bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Chia bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Chia bar Papa. Amrida Amar Rabbi Abba bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Acha bar Papa Mishum Rabbi Hanina Papa. Say that 5 times fast. Madra'ina chipuch by Shabbat. You can cry out over the scratching of Shabbat. We'll explain it. And a door that's open for success won't reopen easily. But okay, buy Eretz Israel. Someone who buys a house in Eretz Israel from a goy. You can write the contract on Shabbat. Now we're going to explain each part. Metiv is a question. All other disasters that come upon the community, like scratching yourself from boils, hagav, locusts, zevuv, tzirabia, tush, flies, wasps, and mosquitoes, if they're attacking people, and also snakes and scorpions that attack, we would not make a gathering on Shabbat to cry. But you could pray privately. So we see over here that you don't cry from scratching of boils. By most, this is moist boils, it can be avish. In the case of Rabba's sons, you do cry out from dry ones. Right? Look at this, right in the middle of our parashiyot. Boils that Hashem brought upon the Egyptians, were wet on the outside, dry on the inside. The pasuk says, there was a boil with blisters on each man. Okay. The closed door won't open again. He was referring to if a person was supposed to get smicha, become a rabbi, and he didn't work out the first time, it'll be hard to get it again. Rashi says, whenever someone gets treated badly, even though it's not easy to get treated well again, to get like promoted. He says, he'll never get better, which is what happened to him. Baba Tara explains that he was supposed to get smicha or promoted, then someone else actually took the spot. Say not necessarily, not that it won't ever happen again, like that's only how it happened to you, but it could happen to others that it'll come back. It just won't be easy. But okay, I buy Eretz Israel. Someone buys a house in Eretz Israel. You can write the contract even on Shabbat. Gemara says, "Shabbat, actually writing on Shabbat." I looked at Marav Hatam, just like Rabbi said elsewhere. Say you can ask a non-Jew to do it. Also, Hanami over here as well. Say you can ask the non-Jew to write the contract to buy the house. Even though to write and ask the non-Jew to write on Shabbat is a Isud Rabbanan, Mishum Yishuv the Eretz Israel local Rabbanan, because we want to sell Eretz Israel to Mitzvah to sell Eretz Israel, there's no Gezerah. Rabbi Shmuel ben Achman, Rabbi Yochanan, Hamelkiach, Ir be'Eretz Israel. Someone who buys in Eretz Israel, Kolfino told the Kach la derech ma'bar uchotecha. We forced him to make 4 roads, to buy the 4 roads around it on 4 sides. Mishum Eretz Israel. It'll open up the pathways for people to come through and hopefully extend the settling of Eretz Israel. So number 9, there were 10 conditions which Yeshua made that you have to do in Eretz Israel after Bnei Israel split through the Shivatim. We're going to list 11 and we're going to ask why. People would have to pasture their animals in private properties, privately owned forests, and people would not be able to complain if it went into different shevet. People can gather wood from their other people's fields. You can gather grasses from animals as long as it's not a place where this special Tultan fenugreek grew, because that would damage the fenugreek. Because you can cut the shoots of an olive tree except 2 fistfuls height below the stump of an olive tree, because if you do shorter than that, it won't grow back. And the people of the town can drink from a spring of water that opened up in someone's property. All Jews may go fishing in the Tiveria, even though it belonged to Naphtali. And nobody, not even Naphtali, even though it's his property, can set up traps deep into the water with pegs, because that will stop boats from navigating easily. Someone's traveling, he may use a person's stone to wipe himself if the person has to relieve himself there, even if it's a field next to saffron, and the stone might, and saffron is very expensive, and you might want to protect it more, but the guy needs to clean himself, so it's okay to use the wall, the rock from the wall. Also can walk a path along the path until the 17th of Cheshvan, the second season. This means that they're able to walk through people's property for the Arayel, through people's, to use a shortcut through property until the 17th of Cheshvan, which is the second season. When it used to rain and it would cause these hardenings in the path of the streets, it would make like hard pegs that would be impossible to walk. So there's halacha is allowed to walk around the paths, even if you're walking through people's fields, it's okay because it's hard to walk down center because of those hard peg-looking items. Someone who's lost in a vineyard may cut through his way to exit. If someone dies and he's a met mitzvah, which means he has no one there to bury him, body's in the middle of nowhere. When they do find him to bury him, the spot that he's on, he acquires it for himself. So, but when Yoshua brought everybody to Bnei Israel, these are the halachot. He says, okay, so you guys are inheriting Eretz Israel. It's yours, but these conditions supersede that. So if anything happens like this, you don't have ownership over it, and you have to concede it. Okay, now we're going to go through each one. People will let their animals pasture in private properties. That's only referring to small animals pasturing in a big forest. About the a small animal in a small forest, or a big animal in a big forest. Because damage is too big. Obviously, for sure, not a big animal in a small area. The law that we don't allow. It seems because then you can gather wood from other people's fields. Obviously, referring to you can use definitely you could use insignificant shrubs and trees. That's not a problem. Low, but other stuff you cannot use because it's more valuable. I feel even in the case of the prickly stuff, the garbage stuff, it's only when it's still attached to the ground. But once it's detached, no, you cannot use it because maybe you have to assume that the guy cut it off for himself. But even in the case of attached to the ground, even if it's attached, you can't use it only if it's moist. I'll be vashim, but if it's dry, no, look, you can't use it yet. And also, you can cut off from moist stuff, but as long as it's not uprooted. If it's already uprooted, you can't use it for the same reason because maybe he wants to grow something else there. We'll stop here.